Welcome to RodneyABrooks.com. Today we're talking with Nick Abrams, who is a certified financial planner, and he is president of Opulentia.
Yeah.
You're based in Baltimore or?
Hunt Valley at north of
Hunt
Baltimore.
Valley North. So we're going to talk today about financial advice for young people,
Okay.
especially millennials and Gen Xers. Okay, now let's talk about you're a certified financial planner.
Yeah.
Okay, and so talk about what makes you a certified financial planner as
Okay.
opposed to a financial planner.
Okay. So, certified financial planner, first of all, there are several courses that you have to take, different level courses. Side note, I'm about to be a professor at Towson University teaching one of those courses next semester. And so after you go through taking the courses, then if you meet certain requirements, so you've been in the industry for a number of years and have a number of years of experience, you take the comprehensive exam, and upon passing that, then you are awarded the letters of a certified financial planner. But that's only the beginning. We have to go through continuing education courses. We renew our license every 2 years, so we have to serve a certain number of hours looking at updates in tax laws, retirement planning, behavior finance. There's a little bit of everything, estate planning, tax planning. So every 2 years, we go through, have to re-up our certification, renew it, and go through additional training. A certified financial planner is trained to look at different areas. So the first part really is going to be retirement. That's the part most people are interested in. But we also are trained in investments, estate planning, though we do not do the actual wills or prepare the documents, but we give an overall picture of the planning. Tax planning, same thing, unless you are a tax preparer. But we as CFPs are not doing tax returns. We're just looking at the tax implications of your investments. We look at the insurance aspect of it as well, and education. So that's college planning as well. So we look at those key areas, and that's what we're trained to do. So we're trained to look holistically at your financial picture.
Okay, you mentioned college planning, and we talked a little bit about it, but some people you always get this question: do I save in my 401k or do I save for retirement? And how do you respond to that? And during the course of it, talk about a 529 plan
Okay.
and whether you think that's something people should be doing.
So when we look at the cost of college, I was talking to some friends yesterday, as a matter of fact, and they were looking at some schools. They have a senior, and they were saying, the child had a wide range from a local in-state university that was about 25,000 to a private institution that's 80,000 per year. So when we sit down with parents, we as advisors have to say, first of all, this is your income. College is a 4-year journey, but your future can last for a long time. So we always tell people, first, you go ahead and save for your retirement, get your goals and everything taken care of. If there is surplus money, then you plan for retirement. For college planning for your kids. We have seen people make the mistake of going into their retirement accounts to help pay for their children's education. And it's very hard to make up for that because it's the time value of money growing, money compounding. So it's very hard to make up for that. So we try to discourage that. So definitely, to answer your first question, Rodney, you want to go ahead and save for your retirement, get yourself together. And then we start looking at, are there other ways to pay for college? As I said earlier, you look at community college, in-state, just making sure different ways, financial aid programs, scholarships, grants, and things like that to look at for college. 529 is a great way not only to save for college, but talking to somebody the other day they have a 529 plan that they set up, but they know they're going to send their child to private school in a couple of years, so they're putting money in to help cover that cost. So a 529 plan can help with different expenses with college. It's an investment account, so it is going to fluctuate with the market. So you do have to make sure you're watching it or have a professional watching that for you. You don't want to be in a position where, your son or daughter is getting ready to go to college and we have a year like 2022 in the market, we're down 20%. That's not what you want to be at. So you want to look at how you manage that 529 plan to make sure that those funds are there for you. But that's a great way to save for college. Some people choose other options. Some people will just put money away in just a regular investment account, and they'll say, hey, I as a parent will dictate how much of this money goes to my child for education, and if hopefully they get a scholarship and a free ride, then I can take that money and spend it on myself, or, use that money for something else. So a lot of different ways you can save for college. One of the biggest is the 529 plan.
Okay, and we're actually in an era now where lots of kids go to college and come back home. Now, okay, so, a number of people, financial advisors, say, be careful, spending too much on your grown children, and because they're going to end up taking care of you.
So that is what we're seeing, a couple things out there. We're seeing that, and we'll talk about that, but also I hope we touch on the sandwich generation as well as a kind of a back end on that. One of the things that's very difficult to have the conversation with parents is about how to manage or deal with their children. Now, as a parent myself of two kids, I can kind of have some of that conversation, but it's also, it's a thin line. We've got to maneuver with that. We do see a lot of times, parents spending a lot of money on their adult kids. And if you're blessed enough to have the money to do it, it's one thing. But when you start sacrificing or pulling money out of different investments or retirement accounts to try to do that, that's when it becomes a problem. And it's out there. We do see it. Especially kids come back home. We also see it through kids getting divorced, and somebody has to now come back home for a while until they get themselves back together. So it's really trying to navigate, what works for your financial situation. Now, like I said, if you're blessed to be able to afford to do it, then, who am I to tell you not to? But if it's becoming a financial burden, then that's where it becomes a serious issue that we try to talk to the parent about. Sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not.
Okay, and you mentioned the sandwich generation.
Yes, so, we have, especially in this issue of this country of longevity, we have a lot of people who are trying to retire but also are taking care of their parents now. And parents, for whatever reason, aren't in a position to help support themselves, whether it's just age, health, or financial. And that's a huge burden because you're trying to put your kids into college, and now you've got parents out here trying to take care of their parents, and with the cost of nursing care, assisted living, have somebody coming into the house, it's really a huge financial burden. And a lot of people are in that, what we call that sandwich generation, and that's a hard one to really deal with because of course you want to take care of your parents, but then you also have your family to take care of, and sometimes it can be multiple parents. It can be yours and your spouse's parents you're trying to do at the same time. So we're seeing that burden really hurt a lot of people and causing people to extend their retirement date out longer because they have to work to make up for whatever sacrifices they made to do that.
Okay, we started out talking about 3 tips, financial tips. So this, wrapping this up, talk about 3 mistakes that people make when it comes to finances. The biggest mistakes you see.
I think
besides buying a BMW.
I don't think, and look, I am all for lifestyle. And I tell you, if you can afford it and you're doing everything you do, you should be able to enjoy life. I think once again, coming out the pandemic, we see life is very precious. So if you're in the position to do it, then I am all for, get the BMW, Mercedes, whatever, just understand what comes with it. And if you have the money to pay for it, go for it and enjoy it and look good driving in it. But mistakes that I do see, number one, not getting help. You know, everybody has their gift in life. Finance happens to be my gift. There are things that other people do that I can't even begin to do. So, you know, the sooner that you get help, the better off it is. I have people come to me all the time, oh, I wish I'd come to you 10, 20 years ago. I'd be in a better position. So don't be afraid to ask for help, seek help. There's so many different avenues, whether you look online, but if you do that, please be careful who you're following. Make sure it's a reputable person that's qualified. Not just somebody who set up a YouTube channel and started giving advice. I would say, you know, that's one of the biggest mistakes that we see. Also, not getting a handle on your financial situation. A lot of people just feel like, okay, this is hopeless already, even early on, because they're in a bad place now. Not understanding that, you know, very few of us started off rich. We were all struggling, and opportunities happened. We took advantage of it. We worked, we made things happen, and got to a place where we are now. So definitely, just because you're in one place now, don't think that's where you're going to end up in the future. Be positive and dream. Don't be afraid to dream. I would think the other mistake some people are scared to fail. We've all messed up in things in life. We've all failed at something in life. So don't be afraid to try something just because of failure. And a lot of people make that mistake. I'm scared to do this because I might fail. Well, you never know. You fail, okay, oh well. You get up, brush your stuff off, you go on to something else. So those are a couple mistakes that I see people making out there. I would say one of the last things, you know, trying to chase dream investments. So, you know, I want to double my money in 2 days type things, or just following the trend of what looks good out there in investing. Investing is a long-term process. It's not about getting rich overnight. It's about getting rich over time. You're putting money away, having that money work for you, so when you need it, it's there plus. You know, I have a friend of mine I work with, we always talk about 10Xing. You know, that's when you look at investing, you put in $1 today, you want it to be $10 in the future, and that 10 to go to 100 and so forth. That's what it really looked like. Being impatient and trying to chase the next big thing, that's where a lot of people get hurt, and that's how they start losing their flavor or their interest in investing that way.
Okay, so before we wrap it up, let me just say, William or Calvin, any questions?
No, I think he covered it for me. I felt like you were asking questions for me.
Okay. Okay, Nick Abrams, talking to Nick Abrams. Nick, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate all the advice.
All right.
Okay, and you cover your website.
Website www.opulentia.com. Excuse me, .net. Sorry, www.opulentia.net. We are on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. So want to connect with us, please do. We have a great team that we have in place, and thank you, Roddy, for this opportunity.
Okay, great.